leadership's all about heart. That's my starting place. And I think sometimes people, particularly that go searching for leadership, that interests me when people search for it, search for those opportunities rather than coming from within and growing them. Because one, I think, means people are chasing a title or a badge or a position, where the other way, I feel, from my experience, when it's been heart-led, often you're put in places that you never would have dreamt you would fit, that you'd never dreamt that you'd be capable of, often feel way out of your depth. But I feel that by doing it that way, your superpowers like humility, integrity, they actually become the pillars of leadership. And so it becomes really values-based. And that's the type of leader that I aspire to be, is one that's values-based, that the values that I lead with are no different to the values that I have in my everyday life. There shouldn't be any surprises. I'm the same as a mum, a sister, a daughter, as I am as a leader of, a leader of a school is what my context is. Okay, so I'm an educator. I have been a teacher now for over probably 40 years, I think. My heart of how I lead starts with who I'm leading, and that I put them in the centre. So for me, I have been the principal of Hastings Girls Ngāra Hui o Ākina, and for me, it was about our student, our girl, who we had at the centre, and really understanding who she is, her identity. And for us in Aotearoa, New Zealand, it's about mana whenua. It's about starting from where we stand and building a school community and a culture that represents that. So it's reflected back. And then through understanding identity and students able to feel really firm in their identity, they then can develop a really deep sense of belonging. Post-COVID, Hawke's Bay had a huge weather event, Cyclone Gabrielle, which had a huge impact across the community, and my family were in the swim for your life and lose everything category, and so we lost our home and our all of our pets, and had to rebuild. And then I'm still a leader, so then how do you show up? How do you show up for your community that are also hurting, and lead them? And I think for me, I have when I visualize where leadership is, leadership for me is very seldom at the front. And I know I do that. I have to do that. I can do that. But for me, leadership's about beside and behind and with. And so it's getting on alongside and leading with the community. One of the strongest values is integrity. And that's really interesting when you understand integrity, because people often refer to me as being courageous. But what I've found out is that the driver for me that makes courage occur is my integrity, that I will always do the right thing. I will always stand up. I will always, no matter how uncomfortable it is, I will always take action or speak up. And so what that looks like to others is courage, but it's not, it's integrity. So it was little things like that. So what is it that what are those values that are at your core? And then how do you practice them? Because having them there is, it's all well and good, but they're never going to be shaped or grown or rise to the surface unless you're consciously using them and reflecting on them and understanding the impact of them. Like, conferences are great. You need to be able to come away and put that into practice and give it legs, because otherwise it's just another form of getting online and scrolling and getting other people to tell you who you are. You need to be able to breathe it in and give it life. For me, it is my faith through God. Anything's, we're capable of anything. Like, this is my little necklace. It's got a little mustard seed in it and a little mountain. And it's, we can do anything with faith the size of a mustard seed. You have tough days. You don't know how you're going to get through, but you cling to that rock. That rock, for me, is my faith. We need vision, because otherwise, what are you, where are you heading? What is your goal? Sphere of influence. You don't need to have position and power to do that. I'd like to think that people would go away and just feel a little bit more self-driven, I guess, around their leadership. It's not whiz bang. It's quite just simple stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Can make a big difference.
This is the beauty that Catherine is going to bring. I know she's going to bring this to our summit, is how do we do that? How do we stand when really we want to bawl our eyes out and cry? How do we find that heart of who we really are? And I love the fact, values and integrity. You really are going to find out who you are by the time Catherine has shared. And you're going to find out with love. She's going to bring that gold out of you.